Hey, Steph.
Hello. Oh, I sound
Welcome.
great.
You sound like you're getting over the flu. Don't even worry about
Uh,
it. You're powering
feel
along.
feel like we have a special guest phone operator on the call today.
Hey, guys. Yes, we found this really
Hi.
awesome phone sex operator to join us
Yeah.
today. We're setting the ambiance for
Oh
today's
man,
episode.
love it.
Welcome back to the first episode of the Bariatric Banter podcast in 2026.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Who who would have thought that literally voice noting while at the dog park in
Oh my
2024
god.
would have led to
To this?
a full year. Like, we're almost at a full year because we did start mid-January, but I
Yep.
believe that this is episode 49. We are
Oh my
3
goodness.
episodes away from 1 full year, which
That's
is
crazy.
wow! Like, we
Crazy.
did it. We did it.
It doesn't feel like a year, but I feel like I just in general, this year flew by. Like
This
every
year flew
season
by.
flew by.
I agree, and I think this year I had big expectations for this year,
Mhm.
and I think this is something good to talk about. I did that whole, "Here's everything I'm gonna achieve in
Yep.
2025, and I'm gonna run a race every month and do this and do that and train for a marathon, and, oh, I'm gonna see the world and do this," and then everything kind of fell to shit because I got
Yeah.
sick at the end of last year. Oh my god, people are gonna be like, "Jesus Christ, this is her whole personality, she got sick." I got sick at the end of last year,
Yep.
and then everything went to shit, and I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
a bad year because I'm here, the sun is
Yep.
shining, like, it was a good year. There's no
But it
I
threw
don't
your whole
believe in
plan out the know it threw your
it
whole plan
did.
off the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't believe in saying, like, "It was a bad year, it was a good year." Like, I think you have exciting, momentous years, and then you just
Mhm.
have normal years, and I don't
Yeah.
wanna label 2025 as bad, but sweet Jesus,
It was a rough one.
it was really rough for me. It was, and it took me until, I'm not kidding, probably last week, thank you therapy, to realize that I didn't take any time to process, like, my sickness, my
Mhm.
anger, my grief over my sickness and my ruined plans, and that I literally tried to just push my way through recovery, and my body completely fell apart at the end of last year.
Yeah.
I came out of pneumonia and was like, "Oh, if I'm out of the hospital, I'm fine." And I went back to running like a week after being discharged from the hospital, struggling in the gym, like barely being able to breathe, heart rate through the roof. But then, I literally ended up running 2 10Ks in March. That's
Yeah.
like that's 1.5, 2 months after severe respiratory illness, and then at that point, everything fell apart. April
Yeah.
was cardiac, heart palpitations, and my heart rate's through the roof, and my resting heart rate's climbing, and all my cardiac tests came back normal, but that they could see it, but they said, "It's benign, it's normal."
Yeah.
And then in June, my blood sugar, my dizziness, my cold spells, my
Yep.
lightheadedness started happening. Must be allergies. Then the blood sugar started tanking, and I could not for the life of me keep my blood sugar up. And it all kind of culminated in October being the biggest burnout of my life. Like, I just hit such an anxiety panic wall, and we have determined it's my body kind of giving out because I never gave
Yeah.
it time to rest.
You never give it time to
Or
process anything. It just kept like
no,
panic, 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 panic,
panic,
panic.
go, go, go. And
Yeah.
I think it's because I was really angry and sad, and I didn't want to deal with those emotions about
Well, and you don't want to admit that you need to stop for a minute.
I
Like
did not.
because no, because that is in our mind a lot of times that's failure. We have to stop, we
Yes.
have to give in, we have to do nothing. And that is a hard thing to do. And
Yeah.
so you don't want to process and deal with the fact that okay, I need to physically stop and
Yep.
chill out and do nothing, which is very
Yeah.
difficult.
And I think you nailed it. And I would kind of pose the question to you, like, I think, do you think that that's our obese self really coming in here about, oh, I'm yet again
Yeah.
failing to do something that I set out to do?
I think it's part of that, but I think it's also like I was talking to Devin yesterday because of this stupid cold and flu, whatever you wanna call it.
Oh, it's
I've
the
done
flu. It sucks.
I've done I did nothing for 8 days but lay on the couch. Like, I would get up and maybe do dishes, but, like, the couch was molded to my body, and by yesterday, I was just so, like, literally, I'm like, "Oh, there's my spot." I was
Oh,
just so antsy and, like, anxious and angry, but antsy, I think is the best way to describe it because I hadn't done anything in 8 days, and I think it
Oh,
goes back to we've put so much pressure on ourselves through this whole process, and we've worked so hard to build habits and build structure and build routine and be consistent and follow through that when we have to then stop and take a break, it feels like failure and it feels like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go off the rails. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping the ball. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna spiral out of control. I'm not gonna be able to get back into my routine again. I'm ruining
yep,
all the work I've put in." And we start to kinda go through that panic mindset of I can't not do something. I've worked so hard
yes,
to build this up. I said to Devin, like, I need to do something. And even yesterday, then I did like a really short, I did a 10-minute total body weight, like dumbbell workout and a 5-minute cardio Tabata, which I wasn't planning on doing, but I clicked on the wrong button. Anyway, I ended up doing it anyway. Um, Thought I was going to die, but I was like, oh God, this
oh
is not what I
god,
thought it was going to be. But whatever, I did it. But I said to Devin, and he's like, "Don't push it, man." He's like, "You're
no,
moving today, you're doing dishes, you're doing laundry, like, you're already ahead of where you were." But I could not stop, like, I couldn't do it another day of nothing. I just felt so unproductive and so off track. And I think it just goes back to that we've put so much pressure on ourselves to change our habits and change our routines that to
yeah,
not do anything and not put in the
it's
work, it brings back and, like, triggers how
it
we
feels
used to
harder.
be. Yeah.
I think you kinda, like, hinted around some stuff too of, like, this lack of control is something I struggle with as well, and I know you do
Yeah.
too. Because I
Yep.
think for the first time in my life, I finally felt like I had control,
Right.
because like, when it came to being obese, I felt like I couldn't control it. I felt like no matter what diet I tried or exercise I did, like, it was so out of my control, and I think
Yeah.
that's why you'll see, like, a lot of obese individuals are really into, like, their nails or their hair or something, and you kinda go, "Huh, but it's because they can control it. They can control the color, the length, the shape,
Right.
like, they have total control over
That
something,
was
so,
me
like,
and my hair all the
I was
time.
very into my hair, like, I was constantly getting
Yep.
it colored and styled and done, and I was really into, like, the fake eyelashes and getting
Yep.
that done like, I was so and, like, now, after weight loss, I've become, like I call myself, like, that hippie granola person who's like, "I don't need makeup today, I look totally fine." Like, "Oh, I'm not
Right?
that what a
It's
waste of money." Like,
so it's
but
so
I
true
because
though,
I had
like, you
control.
can yeah, if you look back I was talking to somebody at work the other day because I hadn't seen him on camera in a while, and, he was like, "Man, I feel like your hair's grown a lot in the last, like, little while." And I said, "Well, yeah, because I haven't done anything to it." And then we got
Anything.
on the topic of hair. And, I was saying how I told him, I was like, "If you go through my Facebook," I said, "if you look at" I used to change my hair every 6 weeks. And when I mean change, I mean, like, drastic change. Like, I would have a different haircut, a different hair color. I did every cut and color under the sun, because that was something I could control. And I could never figure out for a long time,
Mhm.
like, why I wasn't risky in any other parts of my life. I wasn't outrageous in any other parts of my life. Um, but that's something that I could totally control the look and the feel of and how it turned out
Mhm.
and what it was. And now I was talking to somebody and they kind of commented about my hair and I said, "Yeah, it's driving me nuts because I haven't done anything to it in a year and a half, almost 2 years. I haven't dyed
Mhm.
it. I've trimmed it, but I haven't cut it. It's not crazy. It's boring. It's just normal. And it's
Mm,
very different from how I used to be, but it's because I am controlling so many other parts of my life now that I
yes.
wasn't controlling before.
Yep.
It's shifted
Yeah,
for sure.
and so I think that was probably one of the hard parts when this all happened was that I was not willing to give up that control. I had this
Yeah.
plan. This is what I was doing. I was going to be running. Like there was even a part of me that debated not canceling my Florida 10K in February while I was still in the goddamn hospital. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna
sure
be
I'll be
fine.
fine. I'll be totally fine." But I never sat with the emotions of like I'm so angry and I there's grief. It's
Yeah.
weird to say that, but there's grief
Yeah.
about I was gonna do all this, and I think I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing that if I just ignore this symptom, and at the time, we were looking at it in a silo. "Oh, why do you have
Hmm.
lightheadedness? That's odd." oh, why is your blood sugar like that? That's odd. And we weren't collectively looking at like, oh, okay. So there's something called
Yeah.
post-viral syndrome where like when you are sick enough, your body just kind of fucks off out of whack and
Right.
everything starts like
Yeah.
it can't
Because
regulate. It's
everything's
a lot of
connected.
it's hormonal. Yeah, it can't regulate things properly. And so you think it's, oh, blood sugar, weird, out of nowhere. Actually, your hormones have been tanking, your vitamin levels have been
Yeah.
tanked. Like it's all little symptoms of
Everything
other
tries
things
to
happening.
overcompensate for what's not
Ding,
working.
ding, ding, ding. And so you
Yeah.
start whipping through one thing and the next. And so, sure enough, that led to the end of 2025 being really rough for me because I was like, why is my panic and anxiety back? Surprise, I have, mild OCD. Why is that back? And I was like, it's not that it's back, it's that your body is physically trying to shut you down to do
Yeah.
nothing. So I had the flu. And like you, I was out. Like
It was bad.
they thought I had pneumonia again. It was really scary to hear that you might have pneumonia again. It
Yep.
was super terrifying to have to get those chest x-rays again because if you catch it 3 times in your life, it's considered a crisis. Like you
Mm.
should not have it multiple times and
Yeah.
because then it's like you are going to be resistant to treatment for it. So I'm dealing with this thinking, "Oh my god, I've got it again in less than a year." You can see and hear that my mom doesn't want to talk about it because she's really anxious about it and that's what she does. Bless
Mhm.
her. You can hear her being like, "Okay, okay,
Mhm.
alright."
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's like, "Oh, no, I need comfort. Someone comfort me right now."
Right?
So I'm panicked about it, and I'm just like, I can't walk down the stairs without my oxygen tanking. I'm so sick. Turns out to not be pneumonia, thank God, but it's still the worst flu, and
It's
I just shut my body down for
it's
4 solid
horrible.
weeks. I did nothing. I barely ate. I stayed on the couch. I didn't move. I canceled everything. Like, I just didn't move. And I was like, "Okay, I guess that's what my body needed," because now as January kicks in, like,
Mhm.
we're getting more
I
energized, we're
just needed a
feeling
break.
my body was like, "Yo, girl."
Yeah. It
So
needs a
when it comes
break, and it's like we don't realize how long things impact our body for either, and I just talked to
this
yeah,
this.
I just talked to, my doctor the other day because I'm going for I feel like I've had blood work every 2 weeks for the past, like, 2 months. I'm going for another round of blood work to test some more hormonal stuff because my perimenopause symptoms are just driving me through the roof, and so I had a chat with her on the phone the other day, and we were going through all the symptoms I'm having, and she's like, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." And then one of them was, dizziness, and I keep getting dizziness, and it's usually when I stand up. Um,
Mhm.
and I said to her and so she's asking, "Is it, after this? Is it after exercise done?" I said, "No, it's usually when I stand up." Um, and she's like, "You don't have it randomly." I said, "No, it's not like I'm walking down the hallway and I get it. It's when I get up or very shortly after getting up." And so, excuse me, she said that is 100% a perimenopause symptom, but she said it's also she made a comment about, having had surgery. And I was like, "Yeah, but like that was 14 months ago." And she kind of laughed. She goes, "Yeah, so?" And I was like, "Well, that's 14 months ago." And she's like, "Your
Yeah.
body's still dealing with that."
Yep.
And I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Steph," she goes, "Your body had a major change." And she goes, "Our bodies at times and for certain things, yes, they are quick to adapt in like emergency situations and stuff." She goes, "But
Mhm.
generally speaking, our bodies take a long time to adapt to change and to rework themselves and figure themselves out and reroute things." And she said, when you're dealing with not only surgery, but then, yeah, hormones and perimenopause or whatever. She goes, "Your body is gonna take a long time to regulate itself." And she goes, "We often don't give it enough time. We push through
Correct.
things, we we rush through things." And she's like, "Steph, your body is still dealing with it." And I was like, "Shit, man, like, I wouldn't like, I just assumed it was 100% perimenopause. I would have never contributed it to still being an after side
Yeah.
effect from surgery 14 months down the road."
Oh my gosh. But that's the thing,
Yeah.
like and I know I get this from my mom who we'll get to that in a minute. By the way, thank you for listening to her episode. We'll recap and get back to some cool stuff here soon, but thanks to my mom, who is the notorious nurse that wants everything to be healed in a day, she had a fall recently and has really hurt her shoulder. And it's not getting better fast enough for her. And she's
Yeah.
constantly saying that to me, like, oh my God, this should be done by now. Like, what is taking so long? And then I
Mhm.
will say to her, are you crazy? You fell on December 9th, mom. It is December 25th. Of course it's still
Yeah, we're
sore.
not even a month out.
2 weeks, and you hit the ground hard. I said, "Yes,
Yeah,
you didn't break anything, but you probably fucked some shit up that's gonna need to take time to heal." But, like,
right.
she doesn't wanna hear that, right? It needs to be healed
Of
immediately, and I'm
course.
like, how come the advice I give my mom is like, "Rest, recover, slow down," but then
Oh my
for
gosh.
me, it's like,
Yep.
"So you need to be better by tomorrow. Let's get up, let's get going." Like, you can't just
Mhm.
have to be off. But it's funny you mention it because this was the number one thing I Googled. I'd say if you looked at my top Google search for 2025, the number one thing was like, "How long to get over pneumonia? How long does it take to get over pneumonia?" And a lot of doctors, including my own,
Mhm.
and a lot of people on the internet have said like 18 to 24 months. And I was like, get lost. Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's crazy.
absolutely the hell not. And it's because it's not these symptoms. It's not, well, your
Mhm.
lungs are going to hurt for 18 or 24 months and you're going to be coughing. It's like your heart rate will return to normal. You'll get more energy.
Yeah.
Like, you'll start to feel like, I think we think of only physical symptoms that we can see and touch and
Yeah,
feel,
yeah.
but like, it takes a while for bodies to work
Yeah.
their way through because you during surgery or during anything, you deplete resources. And
Yeah.
you and I know, because we've seen enough of this and read enough, vitamin deficiencies take a very long time to develop, and then they take a longer time to fix. You
Mhm.
don't just go 1 week feeling great and the next week going, "Oh, I think my vitamin D levels are now tanking." Oh, like it takes
Yeah.
months for that to happen. And then it takes like, for some people, 3 to 6 months to build your vitamin D back up.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
it's not overnight.
instantaneous. And it's
No.
minimal, like, I think you can take 10,000 vitamin D for 3 months straight and only increase your levels by 30 points, which if you're super deficient, moves you
Mhm.
to deficient.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the thing we don't think about is all the hormones that have changed, all the vitamin levels that are changing, either going up or
Yep.
going down,
Yeah.
inflammation that's finally leaving or maybe reappearing. And then what does your body look like after you've lost 100 pounds? Are there things that you
Yeah.
didn't know or didn't feel because other things took precedent?
Mhm.
Being so fat, my joints hurt all the time. And I couldn't sleep because my back was constantly thrown out due to like my size and my bed. After
Yeah.
losing 150 pounds, now you kinda notice other things like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I do have tightness in my foot that seems like a muscle issue, and man, my fingers are more achy than like, there's other little things, not
Mhm.
that you're not gonna get wildly
No.
sick after surgery,
No, no.
but your
You
doctor's
become
right.
more aware of things. And, yeah, like, we forget how much things are connected and
Uh-huh.
how many parts of your body rely on other parts of your body and how it like we said, it takes a while because one thing has to recover. That change of that first thing will impact the second thing. Then that has to get back on track and reroute itself and figure it out. Then that goes into the next thing and so on. And it's all like this domino effect. And it takes time, but we're in that culture of we want instant gratification, we want things now, we want everything done quickly, we want it yesterday, that we don't often have the patience or the time, or we just don't think about it. Like, I honest to God just did not even think that my body would still be having a symptom like that from something 14 months ago. I figured by
Yep,
now it should be over it. But again,
should be
the
totally
hormones get
fine.
impacted. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything is a domino effect and we just have to be more patient, give
Be
ourselves, I think, that
Yes.
grace and realize that taking a step back or putting not even taking a step back, pausing something is not failure. It's not
No.
falling behind. It's not ruining your progress. It's actually probably going to help you in the long run because it's what your body actually needs versus trying to push through and causing more damage or ending up having to fall further behind than if you would have just paused when you needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly, like post post-viral syndrome or surgery or whatever you might have, slow down, and I think that the big thing for me is, like, I need 2026 to be about more living in the moment. It is fun to
Mhm.
have plans, and we're gonna get to that soon. It is fun to have plans, but I had a friend reach out to our group chat and say, "Hey, like, are you guys doing goal setting and big things for 2026 and bup," and I didn't wanna be a Debbie Downer, but I was like, "Truthfully, no. I do have running plans because I now actually feel good enough to get back into it." But I said, I just find that every year people set out with the best intentions to have these giant mood boards or bingo cards or however
Mhm.
you're doing it of all these things that you're going to do in 2026. And when something comes up and that doesn't happen, it has more of a negative impact on you than a positive. When you start looking at this calendar of all these things you're going to do, a year is a very short time. Anything can happen in that year. And then you're going to reflect back on, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do this and I didn't get to do this. And now I'm behind on this. And like, you're
Yeah.
just building stress and mental distress into your year. I like doing lists of things like 40 before 40 or 30 before 30, like just a list of like some cool shit that I'd like to do before I
Yeah.
turn 40, right? Because you have X amount of years or 50 before
Yeah.
50 or whatever you wanna do, like 26 things in 2026. And it's not big, giant, I'm gonna, get married and renovate a house and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna drink
Yeah.
water every single day and I'm never gonna eat candy again. It's more like, it'd be kinda cool to ride a horse. Never done that.
Right.
Ooh, I'd like to, go to Top Shot Golf because I hear that's kinda cool and that might be fun to do. Some sort of road trip this year. Like I keep it
Yeah.
ambivalent because, like, I
Yep.
don't I've seen what happened. Like, last year, I had this giant calendar, and it was so detailed, and I told
Yep.
everybody like, I did a huge post about every month, "Here's the big race Hannah's gonna do, and it's
Yep.
all gonna culminate in this one, and it's gonna be awesome, and, oh my god, this is so my year, and I can't wait," and, like, holy fuck, taking that calendar down was hard. Like, I
Yeah.
cried. I bawled my
Yeah.
eyes out. And then I
Yep.
pushed myself too hard to try to get back to some random plan that I had set in place in November for no apparent reason. And I
Right.
found myself reflecting back and going, I did not I did not enjoy the positives enough in 2025. Like
Right.
I let the illness and what I didn't do overshadow all the amazing
Oh,
things
the
that I
good.
did do. Like I
Yeah.
there was so much cool shit that I got to do in 2025 and because it wasn't
Yeah.
big enough or it wasn't on my list, I didn't give it
Yep.
the same credit. And that's why I hate saying
Right.
like it was a bad year or a good year. Um but yeah, I don't know if I believe in doing mood
That's fair.
boards, bingo
Yeah.
cards, big giant affirmations of
I
everything
think
you're gonna achieve.
it's funny because I had a couple people lately talking about vision boards and
Mm,
doing vision boards. And I think if you're gonna and I have one friend who does them, and she, like, swears by them and has seen really good success and loves them, but I think the difference being and the thing I like about hers is that her vision boards are big big long-term goals. Like you said, they're not something that has to be done right now or this month. It's in my ideal situation. If I look at my life, this is what I would love to have. Whether that be like a cottage or a new car or a new boat or something that you're working towards. And then
towards.
within that year, she
Yep,
would build on the steps to get to that. And if she hit that endpoint in that year, perfect. It would come off her vision board. But it wasn't something that she has to have. Like, there's been items that have been on her vision board for the past 3 years, but within those years, she has gotten closer to that. She has put steps in place to get there. She has hit goals, building up the ladder to get there. Um, gosh, because I think it's important to have goals, but, like, we always talk about small
yes,
achievable goals, right? So I think it's good to
yes.
have those pie in the sky goals and have those big items, but to
Sure.
not think that you're gonna go from 0 to 100. Build those
Mhm.
little ladders in there to get you to that big end goal, but I think
Yeah,
that's key, right? Is, like, making them small and achievable so you're not setting yourself up for success.
correct.
Um,
Yeah,
it's like
maybe you don't.
that keep it simple, stupid. Like, I remember one teacher used to always say the KISS rule, right? Keep it simple
Yes,
and build it up there. Be realistic and don't think that you're gonna go from having very little money in the bank to buying a cottage at the end of the
buying
year.
a
Like,
house.
that'd be great, but is it realistic?
It's
Probably
not.
not.
And I
Yeah,
think that's where you nailed it, like, maybe 2026 vision board shouldn't be buy a house and win the lotto and do that, like, unless, like, you're
yeah,
very close to doing that, but
yeah,
also, I don't know, maybe just make it those small achievable things. Like, I think there's something
yeah.
to be said about celebrating the small victories and little wins throughout a
We don't
year.
give them enough credit
We
because they add
don't.
up.
They do, and so, I
Yeah,
don't know, I'm not against it, and I think it's wonderful, and I love people getting into this mentality, but I do worry that, are you actually gonna stick with it? Is it achievable, and will it do
yeah,
more negative than good? Like, are you gonna be the type of person that's gonna be okay with not achieving those things that you've written down?
Mhm.
Or are you gonna be like, "Oh my god, what have I done? Why did I say I was gonna do this?" And then you're gonna use that to be
Yeah.
miserable, and you're gonna discredit all the other things that you got to do, and I think that's the other hard thing for me about bingo cards or mood boarding or whatever is that like a year changes drastically. What you think you're going to do in
Mhm.
January can drastically change by February because turn of
Yep.
events, new
You never
jobs,
know what's gonna
money,
happen.
love comes into your life, like other things happen, right? And then it's like, oh, maybe I'm not actually going to do this, and this. Or unfortunately, something maybe bad happened. And then you now
Right.
have a constant reminder of why you didn't do that thing on that list. So
Yeah.
I want people to do what they wanna do. For me personally, it doesn't work because I tend to be way too overambitious. I then
Yep.
tend to get really upset that I didn't complete what's on there. I'm not the type of person that wants to build habit trackers either because I don't know, they just don't really work for me. I know a lot of people do that in the new year too. Like, this is gonna be the year that I drink water every single morning and but like, that's cool. I don't think you need to plan that
Yep.
for the whole year. Maybe do a challenge. Make January. Like, I think it's gonna be hard for you to have a list of 52 things that you swear you're gonna do every week or every month and then track it.
Mhm.
That's a lot to go
But I
from
think
not
that's
doing it
key,
to doing it.
right? Is knowing that, like you're saying, you're the type of person who that's not gonna work for. So if you are somebody where that behavior is you're gonna like get compulsive about it, or it's gonna eat away at you if you don't hit it, knowing that ahead of time, I think is important because then you're not getting yourself into those situations. If you're
Yes.
somebody who needs that constant push and that big big pie in the sky goal and you need that excessive push or reminder or motivation, then perfect. But I think that's just it, right? Knowing what feeds you, knowing what motivates you, and knowing
Yes.
what style will benefit you is important so that you can leverage that and then you can use that to your advantage. And we've talked about that, excuse me. We've talked about that even in terms of, like, exercise, right? Like, am I the
Yes.
person that needs a personal trainer? Am I the person that needs soft motivation? Am I the person that needs that army boot camp person yelling in my ear? Do I
Exactly.
need an accountability group? Like, it's just knowing what works for you, what's gonna set you up for
Yes.
success, and then looking ahead, leveraging that to
Yep.
put the steps in place that you need for the outcome that
Yeah.
you want.
And knowing that what works for someone on social might not work for
Mhm.
you, and
Yeah,
also just understanding, like, human limitations and your own limitations. If you
and that
are
things
trying to
change.
go from doing 1 habit a week to having a list of 15 that you swear you're gonna do every week, like, realistically stop for a minute and say, "Is it too much to
No.
try to go from 1 to 15? Should I
Yeah.
more realistically try to achieve 2 things this month?
Yeah.
And then when I've got those 2 things, maybe add a 3rd." And I think that's just the problem with the what you see on social is, like, it's very ambitious, um,
Mhm.
but it might not work for you. So do what works for you. Also, don't do it if you don't want to. I'm not gonna be posting a mood board. I'm not doing a resolution like, I'm not doing any of that. I have my calendar of when I wanna run and some of the runs that I'm doing this year, and that's about it. So, yeah, do what works for you, and it's okay to not do it, and it's okay to question it,
Yeah.
and it's okay to think that maybe it's just not right for you, but it's also okay to love it. It's also okay to say, "Man, mood boards are the best thing that ever happened to me." I did have a list for bariatrics, of, like, what I wanna do after surgery, and it was things like ride a
Mhm.
horse, travel more comfortably, blah, 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 and that's fun. I like having that, and I think having a travel list, like, I have a travel list of all the countries that I
Yeah.
eventually would love to see. There is no deadline on that. There's no time frame. It's just in my life, I wanna see these countries, and I think that's cool too. I just think we maybe get swept up a little too much in January to completely restart our lives and become different people,
Yeah.
and maybe that's
Yep.
my advice is, like, if you're gonna do a tracker or a mood board or whatever, it shouldn't be to completely change who you are. It
No.
should be to do stuff that genuinely makes you happy. I think the fear I see is people doing these things that's like, "Well, I'm gonna become a completely different person who exercises 8 times a week and drinks water and goes to bed at this time and does this and does it," and it's like, is that genuinely who you are as a person, though, or is it who
Right.
you wish you were, and you're trying to use a tracker to change you as a
Yeah.
person?
Yeah.
That's like
And it's
dieting.
okay if they
Yes.
change. I think that's the thing
Yes.
too, right? Like, just because you wrote it down doesn't mean it's set in stone. Things can change,
Correct.
things can get added, things can get removed. It's like that
Yes.
It's like that meme you see everybody posting about the gym on January 1st, and there's like
Ah,
1,000 people in it, and then
yeah, I
like
was there.
January
There
3rd
was.
and there's 2 people.
Yep.
Yeah, like, we get really caught up in fresh starts, new beginnings, the new year,
Yeah.
and people tend to dive in head first, and that's great, like, the motivation's great, the excitement's great,
Yeah.
but that's when we start to typically get those unrealistic expectations of ourselves,
Expectations.
and we just bombard ourselves with too many things, and a lot of the people we see on social media doing that, I think we also have to remember, a lot of those people, that's their job. They
I was
don't
gonna say the same thing.
have full-time jobs on
No.
top of that. That is their job, so they have a
Yeah.
lot of time to devote to that and a lot of time and ability and effort to put into those things, where in a realistic world, that's not gonna be the
That's
case
right.
for most of us who are also juggling
Mhm.
jobs and kids and family and extracurriculars and sports and all of the other things on our plate that
Yep.
we also need to account for. So it's okay if things change. It's okay if things come off your list. You say, you know what, maybe this is too much for this year. Maybe I'm going to add
Yes.
that to next year. Or maybe I'm going to take that and just do a chunk of it or a portion of it
And it's
and
okay
adapt
if
it
your
as you
list
go.
it's okay if that list has nothing to do with bettering yourself. It's
Yeah.
okay if that list is literally, "I wanna travel. I wanna go on a road trip. I wanna buy a pair of shoes." Like, it doesn't always have to be about changing who you are. And I agree, like, those people are this is their full-time job, and you have to remember that even small influencers, like, even people with 10 to 50,000 followers have managers, have production crews, have people helping them come up with topics and ideas, like, some of them aren't even doing all of the work themselves either. Other people are filming and editing and posting those videos, so, yes, it looks
Mhm.
effortless and easy, and it's social media. You gotta
Yeah.
remember
It's not
that's not
real.
what real life looks like. So don't get swept up in it. Do what makes sense for you guys and feel
Yep.
confident and okay doing it or not doing it. Um,
Yep.
okay, some of the other things I'm gonna post about our top episodes of 2025, which I think is really it's gonna be fun. I'll do like our top 10 episodes of last year. It's
Yep.
not all our first episodes, which is kind of cool.
That is
The
cool.
later ones popped in. Um, Thank you to everybody who listened to the special Christmas edition. We had oh boy, we have a lot of downloads on it, which really surprises me. My mom was just like, "Oh God, I don't know," and I was like, "Just sit here and
I love
talk.
it.
It's not hard."
No,
But it was really good. So thank you for all the messages and the support and the outpouring. Like that's the first time she's ever done anything like that,
I
and
love it.
had a lot of fun. And you were all really supportive of it, and it looks like you guys really liked to listen to it, which is pretty cool.
Love it. It's
I,
awesome.
discovered some new products, Steph. Cobb's. I don't
Mhm.
know if Cobb's is in the US or not, but we
I
have
don't
I mean,
know.
you might. Cobb's bread might be in the
I think
US.
it is.
Okay,
I
somebody
don't
let
know.
us
I don't know.
know. But we have a Cobb's bread, which sells bread, yeah, and they came out
Mhm.
with a protein bread, and I've bought it, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna try it today for breakfast, but they just launched protein bread. Now, I don't know the macros on the calories or anything, but I do know that per slice, there's 12 grams of protein
Love it.
per slice.
That's
Which is
awesome.
crazy. It's Cape seed. I've never heard of Cape seed. I have no
Oh, me
idea what
neither.
it is. It's whole wheat and Cape seed, and apparently because of the seed, you get 12 grams of protein. Now,
Perfect.
it's super high in fiber apparently. I'm
Cool.
still trying to find the macros because when it comes to nuts and seeds and stuff, I am a little worried
It
that the
can.
calories are
Yeah.
through the roof.
Yeah.
Um and it probably is. Okay, so I have found it. Oh man, I really wish I didn't look this up. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so 2 slices. It is
Yep.
290 calories.
Okay.
However, the number 1 ingredient is flax seeds, sunflower seeds, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, then flour. So it is because of all the seeds that the
The
calories
seeds.
are a
Yeah, the
bit
fat.
high. And the
Yep.
fat's 15 grams. And again, that's for 2 slices. But
Okay.
there's only 1 gram of sugar, there's 10 grams of fiber, there's 12 grams of
That's good.
protein, there's a bunch of iron. I don't know, it's worth trying. I'm
And
gonna give it a try.
it's healthy fats, which is good too. But yeah, it is gonna amp up the calories. But the red like all of the ingredients sound great.
They sound delicious, so
Yeah.
kind
And the
of okay
fibers
with
are
that,
awesome.
right? So I'll give it a try, and I'll
Hmm.
tell you guys how it
Nice.
goes. I'm still documenting Factor, the
Mhm.
meal service I accidentally ordered and then
Wah,
forgot to
wah.
cancel.
I
It
love
is
it.
tasty, but it's too much food. I think it's a little maybe a little too rich because it's not sitting the best with me either. I'm not,
Oh, that sucks.
feeling spectacular after eating it. It's good,
Mhm.
but I think for bariatric patients, I think the calories are too high. I think
It's too
the
heavy.
macros yeah, it's too much of a heavy microwave meal, and I feel like once you microwave a meal, putting it back in the fridge to eat it later, it gets weird. So, I
Yeah,
think I will just continue to meal prep. I don't think I will be,
that's fair.
using Factor anymore, but I'll still keep reviewing it and let you guys know what I think, but I don't think it's
Mm-mm.
the right thing for bariatric people, unfortunately.
No,
No.
but now you
But
know.
we're gonna keep testing, so we want
Totally.
more recipes from you guys, products that you want us to test, things that you want us to try. Um, I hear that Bear Bells is coming out with drinks. I don't know if we'll get them in Canada, but I'm curious to
That'll
try
be the
them.
kicker. That'll be the kicker. Are we gonna be able to get them or not?
I know. Probably the answer I'm going out with is probably
Probably
not.
not.
I tried the Fairlife. I'm gonna put a post up about that. I tried the Fairlife shakes. Awesome. Super worth it. The price is way lower than
Mhm.
everybody else's, and they taste just like Premier Protein. Noticed
Which fair
no difference.
like, the does
Oh,
Fairlife
sorry.
have new shakes?
Costco sorry, I meant
Oh, I was
Kirkland.
gonna say I was gonna say you've had Fairlife before.
I've had Fairlife before.
The
Costco
Kirklands.
Kirkland protein. They are like 30 something bucks for the pack of 18, I think, and the taste is
Yep,
great. Like it's identical to Premier Protein. Is Fairlife a bit tastier? Sure, but I find
yeah,
Fairlife like really thick.
and
Um
expensive.
and so like I'm not paying
Expensive.
that price. The only downside is Kirkland is only available in chocolate right now, and I unfortunately really like a
Mm,
vanilla because
yep,
I put it in my coffee.
right.
So,
Hmm,
womp womp.
interesting.
Yeah. And then very last thing
Yeah.
on my end, we started our sugar reset today. So if anybody wants to join, we have a little
Yeah. Sugar
calendar.
day.
Super simple 10 grams of sugar or less per meal per snack. No added sugar, or try
Yep.
not to have added sugar as much as possible. Fruit sugars don't count. We encourage you to eat fruit. Fruit's not the
No.
enemy. Fruit's great.
Yeah.
But really,
Fruit's your friend.
this is a way to, like, maybe stop with the cookies and the added sugar, like, maybe
The
switch back to
chocolates.
sugar-free coffee syrup and, like, no more hot chocolate
Yep.
mixed in with my coffee, like, there's
I did have a
no
couple people message me yesterday that they were downloading the Canva from
I
Cass and they
love
were gonna join,
it!
so, yeah,
Yeah,
I've got at least 3 or 4 people that messaged me yesterday that,
I can't wait.
downloaded it,
Throw a check
so
mark in
it'll be good.
there and, like, again, not don't aim for perfection, just aim for
No,
consistency.
it's
You're
just to
gonna
be
have
and I
days
think just
that
to be more aware and more cautious. I think the
Yes,
awareness is the thing, right? Because you get caught up in it, and then it's that, "Well, I'm just having one little thing, and one little thing, and one little thing,"
yes,
and then you just kinda lose track. So I think it's that visual awareness that is a big
exactly.
thing to kinda open your eyes a little bit, be like, "Oh, I was really getting off track."
Yep, especially for those who
Yeah.
maybe don't use MyFitnessPal or track calories, it's just a good way to be like, "Oh," because I got bad over the holidays. There was cookies, there was chocolate,
Yep.
there was hot chocolate in my coffee. Like, I know that for me, that sugar is a struggle, so we're gonna do a sugar reset, and I'm committed to no added sugar for me and 10 grams of sugar or less, so breakfast already is off to a really good start, and I'll keep an eye on everything else I have. I'll be back on the Built protein bars if I need a sweet treat. All the jam is gone. Jam was really big over the Christmas break at my house, so that's gone. I have my
Yep.
sugar-free jam. I have my sugar-free maple syrup if I want a little
Perfect.
maple in my coffee, and I'm gonna see how after 30 days it's gonna be rough. There will definitely be an adjustment in this week and next where I know that I'm gonna crave sugar and feel like crap and my period's
For sure.
coming and I want to just eat the world and I might look at the dog like he's a hamburger, but I think it will be beneficial, and I will
Yeah.
have a big test next weekend when I'm at my company offsite to not give in, and that's I think the
Yep.
hardest thing is the peer pressure won this season because everybody was
Totally.
like, "You can have a piece, like, you can have a bite of
It's
it."
just a
Like,
little bit.
I made it for you. I thought you
Yeah.
would like it, and I was like, "Okay, alright, okay, thank you," and I need to get back to and God bless my mom for listening, please stop giving me food at the holidays, I don't need chocolate, and my
Yeah.
friends know this, and there's a few of them that I might need to very politely remind, "Please stop buying me chocolate. It's not good for me that you gave me Ferrero Rochers or little things of chocolate or this or that. Like, what I'd rather have is a pack of Smart Sweets or nothing.
Totally.
My
Yeah.
mom stuffed my stocking with, fava beans, dill pickle, salt and
Nice.
vinegar, like and I was like, "Mom, you
Nice.
listen. I love you. Thank you so
That's
much."
awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anything as we end here, Steph, that you are trying, testing, eating, anything you wanna talk bariatric-wise to kick off
Mm-mm.
2026?
I think it's just honing in on everything again and just kind of regrouping,
Yep.
and just really making sure that, like we said, we're not getting ahead of ourselves and we're not aiming for those unrealistic goals. And just, I think it's just consistency for me is going to be the big thing. I'm still doing, well, not recently, but still doing my home workouts. I renewed my membership at the gym. I think for me, it's just, again, being realistic with myself is gonna be the big thing for 2026. And just starting to now kinda reevaluate things in last year, like we've talked about, like those first 12 months after surgery, not that they're easy, but there's a lot
Ugh,
of things you take advantage or you not take
take for
advantage of,
granted.
but you take for granted, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
And where now it's okay kinda honing that in and reining that in and realizing that, okay, some of those gifts are not there anymore. And so what does that look like moving forward? And being humble with myself, being consistent with myself, um, and just really taking the time to sit back and reflect, I think is gonna be a big thing for me in 2026 and focus on the little things, focus on the
Yes.
positives, focus on the small things that we often skim over or don't take the time to appreciate and just kind of slow down a little bit, are I think going to be the things I focus on moving forward. Keep my workouts
So
going, renewed my membership at the gym to switch it up and
hey,
and
me
get
too.
some more, yeah, get some
Yep.
more variety in there. But I think for me, really, it
So,
is
so are.
just taking a step back, taking ownership of what I can control, realizing what I can't control,
Yep.
and a lot of things like we're talking about being in control. That's been a big thing with me lately too in my therapy sessions is relinquishing some of that control so that
Yes.
I can delegate some things to other people, get some things off my plate
Oh,
to
same
allow
boat.
me, yeah, to allow me to slow down and and really appreciate what's going on in the moment and not get so
Yes.
caught up in what needs to be done in the future. So, I think for me it's really going to be just slowing down and appreciating things and having that realistic mindset.
I love it. I am gonna
Yeah.
echo everything you said. I laughed at part of that because that's literally what I'm trying to do at work, and I talked to my
Yep.
boss about, like, delegate, 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 and it's like, "Yes, but I can do it faster, and I can," and it's like, "You
Mhm.
could, but, like, you're taking too much on," and that is the
Yep.
echo of my life. I
Yep.
also wanna slow down, have more gratitude. I really wanna learn, and I
Mhm.
know it sounds silly, but I wanna learn gratitude. Like, I wanna learn
Mhm.
how to
Yep.
not be thinking about the next day in the present day and not be thinking about next week in the week I'm in. Like, I want to slow down and stop
Yep.
rushing through my days or rushing through my weeks or
Yep.
like just trying to get to other things. Like, I want to just
Ugh.
be grateful for having a quiet hour to sit by myself. I
Mhm.
want to, in running, there's a common saying like, you need to go slow to go fast. And when you're starting to learn to run, and even when you're not, when you're training for ultras or long distance, they say you need to run slower than you think you do and you're going to feel stupid running how slow you have to run. And you don't want to, especially as a baby runner, which I am. You cannot listen to that advice. Like you're trying and your body isn't listening. And you're like, why am I out here running to the point of wanting to throw up when they told me to run slow? And you'll see really disciplined, good runners understand you gotta go slow. You gotta really learn pacing. And so that's what I want to take into 2026. Slow down and learn to
Yeah.
appreciate the stillness and the slowness and stop rushing because you're going to wake up and be
Yeah.
60 one day and go, Jesus Christ, why was I in
What
such
happened?
a hurry? Like, why was I
Yeah.
trying? And so for me, I'm going to leave expectations behind. I'm going to slow down. It's
Yep.
not that this has to be the year I get married and find a husband and I have to do this and I have to do that. And why don't I have a house yet? And I don't stop. This is the year that
Yep.
I learn to just slow down and love being in the stillness.
Love it.
It's gonna be good.
Perfect.
I say that now, and then literally in, like, a week, I'm gonna be like, "Here's 900 things that I'm gonna be doing this year.
Right?
Woohoo." Um,
Uh-huh.
I'm
It'll
gonna
be good. It'll
It's
be
going to be
good.
a good 2026. We want to thank each and every one of you for being our listeners and chiming in. Keep messaging us and giving us suggestions and topics you want to
Yeah.
talk about. We're going to bring Cass back here soon, but we are looking for other people. So send suggestions if you are somebody in the field, if you're a dietitian, if you're in nutrition, if you are somebody that, specializes in this or has your own podcast about this and you want to join forces and do a joint episode, message us, let us know. But we
Yeah.
are here bi-weekly for all of 2026. We have a website now. We're launching a newsletter, which will be coming at the end of this month. We're going to start sharing more socially. We just, like you heard us say, had a very rough 2025 where we were exhausted and did too much, but we like
Yeah.
interacting with all of you and we want to make it a bigger priority in 2026. So thanks for everybody, but most importantly, thanks for Steph for just being
Thanks,
my
Anna.
partner in crime and helping with this podcast and being the best co-host ever. I can't wait for every episode we do this year.
It's gonna be awesome. Stay
It's gonna be
tuned.
all right. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks,
Happy
guys.
2026, y'all, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Bye.